It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview James Madison head basketball coach Mark Byington. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Brandon. Yeah, I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you. Can you talk about your coaching experience and where you got started at?
Yeah, so I really wasn't supposed to be a basketball coach, and I was kind of trying to figure my life out. And I went to University of Virginia grad school, and I was going to be a GA and kind of help out with the basketball team. But the path that I was supposed to go on, I was going to finish out my doctorate and be a college professor. And after playing in college and being around competition, I just found myself every time that I was away from basketball, missing the competition and missing the guys and kind of missing, the good times and the bad times. So when I went to grad school, I was supposed to finish my doctorate and ended up stopping just at a graduate degree. And because I knew then I wanted to pursue coaching. And, from then on, it's been a long journey.
Can you talk about your experience at Georgia Southern?
Yeah, so I was the head coach there for 7 years, and I took over a situation to where it had 7 straight losing seasons, and it was there was some guys there that could play, but we had to kind of turn the roster around and everything else, and it was it was similar to what I have to do here at James Madison, but it's trying to changing the culture, changing the mentality around recruiting and getting things going, and so. At Georgia Southern, I was proud the fact that, after the first year, we kind of grinded and made it through and did some good things. But by the second year, 15 of our 17 players were new players, just not on purpose, but just the way it happened. And we won 22 games. We had 2 3-pointers that year that have put us in the NCAA tournament, and we back-rimmed both of them. And but we went from that point to year 2 of being right there close to a championship. And then we had a lot of success after that. We had really good players. All the guys graduated. Most of my guys ended up being professionals and playing professional basketball. And we finished out there with 3 straight 20-win seasons. So we had the program going.
Can you talk about your time at Virginia Tech as the assistant coach?
Yeah, it was, everything's learning. One of the things I try to pride myself in life is growing. And James Johnson hired me up there. And so from the day I got hired, if you look at our roster at Virginia Tech and you're going to recognize some of these names, you're going to be like, that was going to be really good. But we had Montrezl Harrell committed at Virginia Tech, and he ended up backing out his commitment and went to Louisville. We had Dorian Finney-Smith on the roster. And he ended up transferring out, and now he's starting for the Dallas Mavericks. But we did have a good player, and actually 2 good players ended up playing the NBA on that roster. And Jarrell Eddy, who's been in the NBA and played a lot, and Eric Green being the ACC Player of the Year and led the country in scoring. And we got off to a good start. It was learning because it was a new guys, new program, new culture. Similar things I've done before, and I got to watch as assistant coach. I learned a lot, and I learned a lot from the guys around me. And, the other thing I take pride in too, and I try to do this the best I can, is also try to learn from the guys you're going against and trying to be, perceptive and battling the ACC that year was difficult. But going through all that, I came out a better coach, understand the situations better and how to do things like anybody, better the next time you go through it.
Can you talk about when you took the ops position at Virginia and how that was like?
Yeah, so I was in a situation, I was already assistant coach at College of Charleston, and I had an opportunity to go back to Virginia. Like I mentioned, I was a grad assistant there before, and, Pete Gillen was a coach there, and I already knew him. I was learning a lot from him. I want to kind of keep expanding, different things. And it wasn't about getting the ACC, but it's kind of just learning all parts of the program. So we went up there, and again, we were actually a top 25 team for most of the year and had really good players. The all-time leading scorer of Virginia, had a chance to coach him, Sean Singletary. And so, being around those guys, kind of seeing the league, same type deal where I learned kind of all parts of the program and being in the Dobo spot, and it kind of gave me a different idea of kind of seeing things in a different way.
What was your time like at Charleston Southern when you were a coach there?
Yeah, I was at college at Charleston. And, at college at Charleston, I was there for two different head coaches. I was there for Tommy Harrion, and then I was also there for Bobby Crimmins. So I was there for 9 years total. And, it was kind of my first Division I job was getting there with Tommy Harrion, and it was great. It was one of those things where you kind of think you know what coaches do and what they do on a day-to-day, and then when you're in it and you're said, I had no idea that it was this kind of time demands and it was this hard but also that this enjoyable. I mean, just kind of be the relationships with the guys and being a part of that was special. I got so much out of working for Tom Harry and so much out of working for Bobby Crimmins. I kept kind of growing as assistant coach, and Bobby Crimmins gave me a lot of responsibilities and helped me grow. And finished off there at College of Charleston. I was associate head coach, and Coach Crimmins got a little sick. And next thing you know, I'm the interim head coach. And I coached 11 games there, and it really kind of propelled me, gave me some head coaching experience, and kind of propelled me out. I definitely believe to where I am now.
Can you talk about taking over the job at James Madison and what that was like?
Yeah, so I mean, I think there's a normal takeover from a job and there's a takeover in a pandemic. And, no one knows what this is like because no one's been through it before. But, this is the hard parts of it were I wasn't able to be around the guys that I'd inherited day to day. When I got here, everybody was already gone. The school was already online. And what I did is I tried to drive around and meet each player face to face, try to meet their families. And there was turnover on the roster and this and that. And so we had to bring in 8 new players. So, bringing those guys in and kind of building the roster up. And I wanted to have the mentality of we want to win now. And, the team finished last place last year in the CAA. And there was talent here. And I inherited some good players, and we brought in some good players. But from the point I took the job in April to where we are now, I love the progress we've made, and the guys have been great. They want to get better. They want to win. We're changing things around. We've been able to kind of get everybody together the last 25, 30 days, and able to do workouts and practices. And now we're back in school. So we started school 2 days ago, and we're moving forward just like the season's going to start in November. We don't quite know what the future is going to be like, but I'm excited to coach this team. Where we are now from where we were. I really think if we keep progressing, I think we're going to be good this season.
Can you talk about your playing career at UNCW?
Yeah, I was actually recruited I'm in the CAA now at James Madison. And, I was recruited by a lot of teams in CAA. And, the thing I liked about Wilmington and the reason I ended up going there was actually the players. It was the coaches were great, and that was fine. I signed with a different coach who wasn't even the head coach who coached me, a guy named Kevin Eastman, who was coached at Washington State, and he's from Richmond. He's coached the NBA with the Celtics and the Clippers. I signed with him, and he left to change schools. And I'm glad I kind of picked a school for the reason I did, because I really like the guys. Some of my best friends are my teammates. And, you come in as a freshman, you think you know what everything's going to look like, and it's a struggle. And I was kind of able to work my way up to a 6th man. I played behind an all-conference guy named Chris Min. And then I started the next 3 years. And again, it was one of those things where I saw it building that my senior year was the first time the program ever won 20 games. And we lost in a championship game a couple of times, or were close. And made it to the NIT my senior year, played Wake Forest. And I think we were kind of the stepping stone for what that program did after us. And then they brought in great players, and Brett Blizzard and Goldsberry and some different guys there who got them to multiple NCAA tournaments and kind of went to the next level. But it was great to kind of feel a part of that rebuilding and kind of seeing where that thing was when I left, what good shape it was in.
Can you talk about what you're looking forward to accomplishing at James Madison?
Yeah, just I don't want a good team. And so I want a good program. And so to do that, it's you want to be good year in and year out, and you want to be at top of the league and competing for championships. And it's a great league. I mean, there's pros coming out of this league nonstop. There's tremendous coaches. There's very good players. And so, we got to catch up and finished last year, and we're trying to get to the top of it. We got to catch up to a lot of teams in front of us. And, we got to do that, by different ways right now. So, we're trying to be tough. We're trying to be together. Trying to understand what it's going to take to win. Embrace some things that are going to be, help us in tight games. And so, year in, year out, I want James Madison at the top. We got to recruit really well. And we've already brought in 8 new guys last year and got a couple commitments for this year. So, all that's a part of it. And, I have everything around me to be successful. I have tremendous administration. The school is gorgeous. One of the best campuses you're going to see. Academics is top notch. And then in 6 weeks from now, we're moving into a new arena, and it's going to be one of the nicest arenas in the country. So the trajectory of James Madison, trajectory of this program is definitely skyrocketing up right now.
Can you talk about the recruitment process and what that's like for you at James Madison as a head coach?
As far as getting the job?
Yes, as far as getting the job and rebuilding the program and selling the program to players.
Well, as far as getting the job, there was a mutual interest, I think, from James Madison and for me. I grew up in Virginia. I knew what this program could be like. I've seen it when it was really good, like when Lefty Drizel was here in the 90s, and I played against those teams. And so I was always attracted to James Madison and knew, potential. And then you kind of meet the administration, you meet the people on the job, you meet the president, and you kind of see they have a shared vision to what you want to do. And, it came about where I interviewed for the job, I got the job, and we've been rolling since then.
Can you talk about your future plans for James Madison in the upcoming future? I know you said that you're having a new arena built. Is there any other future plans?
Yeah, I mean, it's, right now we're in a stage, we're going day by day with our program right now, especially with everything going on in the world. But, we're one day at a time. We're going to work really hard today. I'm proud to say my guys we're already up at 6:30 a.m. this morning and got a great workout in. I got another one this afternoon, and we're going to keep going at it. And I feel like if you work hard and you keep doing the right things, good things are going to happen for you. And so, the program's going to be what it's going to be, but we're not going to look that far in advance. I mean, we keep doing our thing day to day, then it's going to take care of itself.
Can you tell me who the people in your conference are that you play? Like, for example, do you play UNCW, who you played at UNCW for?
Yes, yeah. Wilmington's in our conference. College of Charleston, where I was before, they weren't in the CAA at the time, but now they are. Hofstra won the league last year, had tremendous guards. William & Mary's been very good at top of the league. You have Elon, Townsend, Delaware, Northeastern, and I might have forgot one of them, just kind of going all right off the top of my head. But it's a 10-team league, and the league's in bigger cities going up and down the coast. And, like I said earlier, very good players. There's guys all in the NBA from the CAA, and, tremendous coaches. It's a challenge. And so, I'm trying to surround myself with people who like challenges. I like challenges, but we definitely got a big one in front of us.
As a coach of James Madison, do you look forward to replaying your team that you went to school at, for example, UNCW, and then Charleston Southern, who you coached for them?
Yeah, so it's one of the things as a coach, you kind of focus on your job, and you don't even really look down the bench and do different things. I had an interview last week, and they asked what it's like to coach against Mike Krzyzewski, and I said, well, it's you're nervous and shaking his hand, but then when the game starts, it's you're doing your thing, you're doing your job, you're focused on the game, and so that'll be my thing anywhere we coach. I'm fortunate to have some experience, and I always just try to focus on my job and what I can do, no matter who it's against and no matter what the surrounding is.
What advice would you give future athletes looking to get recruited to James Madison or any college in particular?
Well, I mean, there's going to be different fits. So, you have to be talented, of course. I know the percentages are small to go from high school to college. And so talent is, obviously a factor. You have to get seen, and, you have to get seen at the right time against the right competition. So, some guys don't get seen as much in high school. They have to take advantage of AAU. You can use camps and different things like that. But, my thing is, just, kind of do the best you can in the situation you are. Sometimes you're not in a great situation. You can really stick out. Sometimes you're on a top-notch team, and people understand that too. So, like anything else, I mean, you got to do right the right time. You got to play well. You got to be what the coach is looking for. Sometimes they like a certain style, a certain fit, or whatever else. And, I'll say this, I wouldn't just worry about James Madison if I was in high school. There's over 350 Division I teams in Division I, but then also there's some unbelievable opportunities at Division II, Division III, JUCO, NAIA. So I would never shun or look down on anything different opportunities, because playing college basketball at any level is great. So any opportunity you can get, I would appreciate it. And if it's at James Madison or if it's anywhere else, they're hard to come by. So you're blessed to have any of those.
What advice would you give future college coaches looking to get into the profession, just like you did?
Yeah, I mean, I could tell you, you have to embrace the grind, and you'll get tested early and kind of see if if you have the same passion you think, because the hours are long, and the pay is it's near awful or terrible when you first start, and sometimes it's volunteering, and so you have to do a lot of sacrificing, and understand you probably have to travel and move and different things, especially when you're young. And if you love the game, you're in it for the right reasons, you'll be able to get by and you'll be able to do those things. But besides understanding that part of it, you kind of got to get your foot into the door, whether it's a GA, a volunteer, or being really good in a high school situation or AU situation or coaching and get moved up. And I would say just try to somehow figure out to get around good people. And if you're around good people, are going to help you learn and then help and give you opportunity to teach. You'll advance in your career. Things will be good for you.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media, along with James Madison Basketball at?
Well, I know our website is jmusports.com. And I can't even remember my Twitter handle. I'm sorry. So maybe you can find it and link it in here at the bottom. But find me at jmusports.com or that'll be the best way.
Thank you again, Coach Mark Bennett, for your interview, and best of luck at James Madison in this upcoming year.
Great. Thanks, Brandon. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Coach, for your interview, and best of luck.
Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.